Ohio is home to some of the oldest earthworks in North America, and more reports of unexplained aerial phenomena than anywhere else in the Midwest. Its rivers once carried settlers west. Its factories supplied the nation with steel, and its cities produced innovations that shaped the modern world. But Ohio's most mysterious places are far from the cities. Abandoned towns left behind, quiet fields tied to strange events, and hidden sites that still guard questions with no answers. These mysteries exist everywhere, even where you'd least expect them. In Youngstown, Mill Creek Park, established in 1891, stands as one of the nation's oldest metropolitan parks. Its stone bridges and ravines hidden inside a modern city. In Hancock County, Findlay Ghost Town carried the illusion of the Old West. Now its boardwalks sag and buildings crumble, leaving behind only the remains of an abandoned attraction. And on Lake Erie's shore, Marblehead Lighthouse, built in 1822, still shines as the oldest operating beacon on the Great Lakes. Join me as we uncover the most extraordinary wonders of Ohio, where rare creatures and forgotten mysteries might just change the way you see this state forever. Hocking Hills State Park is well regarded for its cliffs and caves, which were formed over millions of years by water carving through the Black Hand sandstone. The unique formations, gorges and caves are the result of ancient uplift and erosion, not glacial activity, making them rare for the region. It features over 25 miles of trails, with many cave landmarks that incite general curiosity and superstition due to their ancient presence and long histories. Early tribes like the Shawnee, Delaware and Wyandot used these caves for shelter and left petroglyphs and artefacts that remain today. The white-tailed deer in Hocking Hills State Park is an adaptable mammal known for thriving in forests, open fields, and even areas with human activity due to its flexible diet and alert nature. Its reddish-brown summer coat shifts to grey in winter, helping it blend with its surroundings and avoid predators like bobcats or black bears, although these are less common. As an opportunistic browser, it is willing to change its diet by season and availability, a flexibility that gives it an edge over more selective feeders. It forages mostly at dawn and dusk, and is skilled at avoiding detection by using zigzag escape patterns and tail signalling. Compared to other deer, such as the mule deer, the white-tailed deer is more solitary and relies heavily on cover and stealth rather than group defense. Ash Cave is the largest recessed cave east of the Mississippi, a horseshoe-shaped sandstone overhang with a seasonal waterfall that drops 90 feet over the rim. Its natural acoustics create a whispering gallery effect, making sounds carry across its massive shelter. Adding to its eerie atmosphere is an abundance of local folklore, such as one that notes 2 pioneer children supposedly fell to their deaths at the cave while fleeing from native pursuers, and their screams are rumoured to echo on quiet nights. Visitors sometimes report encountering the apparition of a mysterious woman in a 1920s dress, said to follow groups in and out of the cave recess. As the only true cave in the park, Rock House is a tunnel midway up a 150-foot cliff that possesses a long legacy of being used as a shelter by various groups of people, such as the Native Americans, pioneers, outlaws, and travellers. Unlike other caves in the region, it visibly resembles a house with stone pillars, a roof overhead, and window-like openings in the sides. It was also known locally as Robber's Roost, reportedly serving as a hideout for bandits and bootleggers in the 1800s, with rumours of hidden loot still circulating. Another legend revolves around William Reynolds, a herdsman who used the cave as a barn and who died following a bear attack in the area in 1863. Currently still inhabiting the general area is the eastern grey squirrel, thriving in hardwood forests by navigating tree canopies and storing nuts for winter. It notably has an advantage over other squirrels, which is its acrobatic ability to descend trees head first and use backward-pointing claws to grip bark. The animal forages for food such as acorns, seeds, and bark, following the optimal foraging theory by preferring foods high in energy and caching surplus for winter. Foraging peaks occur at dawn and dusk, avoiding the afternoon heat. Its bushy tail assists with balance, warmth, weather protection, and helps communicate warnings to other squirrels using tail flagging and vocal signals. Evidently, this squirrel often outcompetes red squirrels by being larger, storing more fat, and adapting quickly to habitat changes and urban areas. The Old Man's Cave is a deep gorge system named after a famous legend regarding an old man and his dog who were buried under a cave ledge in the area. A local hermit named Richard Rowe, known as the Old Man, reportedly lived and died in the cave in the 19th century. Legends say his ghost and the sound of his faithful dog still echo through the gorge, especially during full moons. Another frequent forest dweller is the American robin, which has a preference for short grass areas where worms are easier to detect and often exploits freshly mowed lawns. It stands on the ground, visually hunting for worms and insects by cocking their head to detect movement before grabbing prey swiftly. This bird is able to overwinter locally if food is available, but migratory groups also form, flying up to 100 to 200 miles daily in good conditions to southern or coastal regions. Migration timing varies with weather and food supply, often guided by changes in daylight and temperature. The groups experience plasticity in migratory patterns, sometimes altering routes or staying longer in mild winters. Well regarded as the shallowest and warmest of the Great Lakes, Lake Erie is also infamously rumoured to be the home of a lake monster, nicknamed Bessie, which has been spotted intermittently since the 19th century. Descriptions of the alleged monster vary, but most agree it is a snake-like creature, ranging from 30 to 50 feet long, at least a foot in diameter, and greyish, or mottled in colour. Its shape is often compared to prehistoric marine reptiles like plesiosaurs, with reports mentioning large fins or flippers, a dog-like or flat head, and sometimes even human-like arms. One famous sighting, in July 1892, reported by a ship crew, described Bessie as a huge serpent, about 50 feet long, with a head and neck sticking out 4 feet above the water, and eyes viciously sparkling. Bessie sightings have continued sporadically over 2 centuries, including several in the 1960s, 1980s, and 1990s, capturing public imagination and even gaining national media attention. Despite no clear photographic evidence, locals and visitors often report unusual waves, large serpentine shapes in the water, and strange disturbances near the shore. Frequenting the lake's shorelines and islands is the double-crested cormorant, named for the two white tufts, or crests, that appear above its eyes during breeding season. These birds thrive in aquatic environments, being expert divers with waterproof feathers that allow them to chase fish underwater. However, this reduces insulation, making them spend time drying wings after dives. They migrate seasonally in large flocks, and during fall migration, groups of up to 10,000 can be seen in the western basin of Lake Erie. They show site fidelity, often returning to the same colonies to breed year after year. Unfortunately, their nesting in dense colonies does affect surrounding ecosystems by causing vegetation loss due to acidic guano deposits. Located on the tip of the Marblehead Peninsula along Lake Erie is the oldest continuously operating lighthouse on the Great Lakes, the Marblehead Lighthouse. In service since 1822, its name comes from the local limestone cliffs, often mistaken for marble. Like many other lighthouses, the Marblehead Lighthouse is steeped in mysterious stories, said to be haunted by the footsteps and apparitions of past keepers and sailors lost on Lake Erie. One haunting tale involves the first keeper, Benajah Walcott, a Revolutionary War veteran, and his wife Rachel, who took over after his death during a cholera outbreak. Their lives and deaths are interwoven with the lighthouse's history, and some say their spirits still tend the beacon. Nighttime visitors report unexplained lights and faint voices around the lighthouse grounds, especially near the old keeper's house. On one of the many islands dotting the Great Lake, the village of Put-in Bay on South Bass Island is historically significant as a naval base during the War of 1812, where Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry launched his fleet. Also home to the event's Peace Memorial, the village's lengthy connections to past wars inevitably subject it to reported hauntings of its various inns and historical buildings. One ghostly figure, known as the Governess, is said to watch over children playing in the Park Hotel lobby and occasionally appears in room 14. Recognisable as the official national bird of the United States, the bald eagle around Lake Erie adapts to seasonally changing conditions by either migrating south from northern breeding grounds or staying year-round if food remains accessible. Migration timing is influenced by weather and daylight, with northern breeders moving south in fall and returning in early spring. Eagles are territorial and require large nesting sites with tall trees near water, as loss of habitat can force younger eagles to disperse to less crowded regions. They hunt primarily by perching high and swooping onto prey, or by low flights over water to snatch fish with powerful talons. Where prey is abundant, eagles could wade in shallow water to catch fish, though they would also scavenge carrion and occasionally steal food from other birds. They help control invasive aquatic species such as snakehead fish and Asian carp, playing an important ecological role. North of South Bass is the smaller Middle Bass Island, known for its long history of grape cultivation and winemaking, earning it part of the nickname Wine Islands. Named originally Island of Flowers by French explorer Robert La Salle in 1679 due to abundant wildflowers, the island retained this name for 200 years before being developed for vineyards in the mid-1800s. German immigrants helped establish the grape-growing industry, and by 1875, the Golden Eagle Winery on Middle Bass was one of the largest wine producers in the country. Shawnee Ghost Town began as a coal mining town founded in 1872 in the Appalachian region. Once home to over 3,000 people, it thrived on coal mining and related industries, though Shawnee mines were sites of repeated labour unrest, including symbolic mine fires set by workers protesting oppressive company control. The broader region's Native American past also involved many violent disputes and tragedies, which circulated tales of hauntings in abandoned buildings. Today, about 650 people remain, and much of the downtown is empty, with boarded-up buildings and abandoned homes creating a ghostly atmosphere. Kelly's Island on Lake Erie is primarily known for the massive glacial grooves carved into its north side, which are among the largest and most well-preserved in the world. Originally called Cunningham's Island for an early European settler, the island was renamed for brothers Datus and Irad Kelly, who began buying most of the land in 1833 to exploit its dense red cedar forests and limestone quarries. The Glacial Groove State Memorial, located on the island, showcases some of the largest and most well-preserved glacial grooves in the world. These grooves were carved into the Columbus limestone bedrock during the last ice age, more than 18,000 years ago, when massive glaciers dragged giant boulders across the island's surface, creating deep parallel chasms in the rock. The grooves stretch approximately 427 feet long, measure up to 33 feet wide, and are as deep as 10 feet. Situated in Adams County, Serpent Mound's undulating form, with a coiled tail and an oval at its head, lies on a natural ridge where the serpent's head aligns with the summer solstice sunset over Solstice Ridge. It is the largest surviving animal effigy mound in the world, though its exact purpose and origin remain mysteries. Radiocarbon dating suggests it was initially built over 2,000 years ago, around 300 BCE by the Adena culture, with later renovations by the Fort Ancient peoples about 900 years ago. This long construction and use period deepens the enigma, raising questions about changing cultural meanings. Three burial mounds sit nearby, two linked to the Adena culture and one to the Fort Ancient culture, suggesting the area was a ceremonial centre for multiple Native American cultures. Some researchers propose the mound was an astronomical calendar, mapping solstices and equinoxes through its alignment and coils. While once thought to be solely Adena built, modern studies show its construction and use spanned different cultures across centuries, further complicating its story. Granville is a historic village in central Ohio, best known for its New England-style architecture and Denison University. Its founding involved the purchase of over 29,000 acres by a group known as the Licking Company, who made a perilous journey west to build a planned village amidst the hills and fertile valleys. Its location atop three hills called Sugarloaf, College Hill, and Mount Parnassus prompted local lore that the land itself was chosen for its mystical qualities. In the late 20th century, infamous serial killer brothers Gary and Thaddeus Lewingdon added an extra dark chapter to the town's narrative by committing a violent robbery and killing of a local elderly man. Today, it still preserves over 100 buildings on the National Register of Historic Places, with broad streets and historic churches creating a distinctive New England ambience. Ancient cultures built earthworks here, including the Alligator Mound, which is believed by some to represent an underwater panther, a guardian figure from Native American oral traditions. The mound, roughly 250 feet long and 4 feet high, is now a protected site associated with mysterious pre-Columbian rituals. Nelson Kennedy Ledges State Park is renowned for its rugged sandstone cliffs, deep fissures that reach up to 60 feet, slot canyons, and waterfalls such as Cascade Falls and Minnehaha Falls. The park's rock formations, such as the Devil's Hole and the Devil's Icebox, are places of local legend. Tales suggest strange temperature drops and the feeling of being watched within these cool, shadowy fissures. Some believe these formations mark a supernatural boundary, with unexplained animal sounds and odd voices reported at dusk. Fatal accidents, including 2 reported cliff falls in 2011, add to an air of danger and mystery. The park's maze-like passages and sudden drop-offs have led to rumours of hikers going missing in the past. The barred owl is a year-round resident in Nelson Kennedy Ledges State Park, thriving in mature forests, wooded ravines, and moist lowlands. Its barred brown and white feathers help it blend with tree bark and shadow, making it difficult for both prey and predators to spot. Their wings are also specialised for silent flight, letting them ambush prey without warning. Ground and aquatic foraging are notable, as these birds may snow plunge for voles or wade after fish and crayfish, more than any other North American owl. Unlike many owls that migrate, barred owls are sedentary, as banding studies show individuals rarely move more than 6 miles from their birthplace, maintaining tight territories. Great horned owls are their most serious predators, often outcompeting or killing barred owls for territory and food. Meanwhile, one of the barred owl's notable prey is the garter snake, a skilled semi-aquatic forager. Eastern garter snakes can flatten their heads and strike if threatened, releasing a foul-smelling musk as a defence against predators, which include raptors, raccoons, and larger mammals. They regulate body temperature by basking and may flee more readily when warm, but stand their ground in cooler conditions. Columbus, Ohio's state capital and largest city, is located along the Scioto and Olentangy rivers in the central part of the state. Founded in 1812 and named after the explorer Christopher Columbus, the city was chosen as the capital because of its central location. Reflecting its agricultural roots and immigrant populations, the city has a distinct food culture, with classic dishes such as the Buckeye Candy, a combination of peanut butter and chocolate styled after Ohio's state tree nuts. There is also the Columbus-style pizza, characterised by square cuts and an edge-to-edge topping layer with a sweet tomato sauce and a blend of provolone and mozzarella cheese. Additionally, it is the birthplace of the iconic fast food chain Wendy's, founded by Dave Thomas in 1969. The city's population has a long history of European ancestry, including large Irish and German communities that established breweries, churches, and cultural neighbourhoods such as the Old South End. Columbus City Hall, built in 1934, is a prominent Art Deco-style government building located in downtown Columbus. In 1988, it became part of the Columbus Civic Center Historic District, recognized for its community planning and government function in city history. Another Art Deco-style building is the Levesque Tower, the city's tallest building for nearly 50 years and second tallest today. Its height was deliberately set 5 inches taller than the Washington Monument at the time, emphasizing civic pride and competition. Originally named the American Insurance Union Citadel, it served as headquarters for a fraternal insurance group and featured 600 hotel rooms and the Palace Theatre. The tower was renamed after real estate investor Leslie Levesque in 1946. The Scioto River is a major river in central and southern Ohio, once powering early shipping and agriculture. It served as an important route for Native American tribes, including the Adena, Hopewell, and Shawnee cultures, whose earthworks and settlements dotted its valley. Along the Scioto, stories circulate of ghostly apparitions, particularly near Delaware County, where a pirate named John Robinson was said to have lived. His mysterious disappearance and the odd sightings of a woman thought to be his captive add a layer of eerie folklore to the river. Further mysteries involve abandoned villages, once thriving along the river, that vanished without clear reasons, swallowed by time and nature. The river valley also carries tales of strange noises, shadowy figures, and unexplained phenomena reported near its wooded banks. On the surface, the Ohio State House is a prime example of Greek Revival architecture. Constructed mainly from Columbus limestone, it reflects ideas from ancient Greece, especially the Parthenon and the Tholos of Delphi, chosen for their connection to democracy. However, it was once rumoured to be where President Abraham Lincoln had a secret love affair with Kate Chase, the daughter of Ohio's 23rd governor, Salmon P. Chase. Ghost tours have even been conducted to snatch a glimpse of their spirits continuing to meet in secret and dance in the State House, even in the afterlife. The Columbus Metropolitan Library, serving Franklin County since 1873, began as a modest reading room with a collection of 1,500 books on the first floor of City Hall. Over 150 years, it has grown into a major system with 23 branches, enhancing public access to education, digital resources, and cultural programming. Franklin Park Conservatory and Botanical Gardens in Columbus opened in 1895 as a grand Victorian-style glass structure modelled after Chicago's World Fair Glass Palace. The conservatory is known for its impressive plant collections spanning tropical, desert and seasonal biomes that showcase over 400 species from around the globe. However, a fire in 1921 destroyed many early records about the conservatory, making parts of its early history obscure. Local stories link the extraordinary plant growth and phenotypes, appearing mysteriously overnight with whispers of botanical magic. Moonville Tunnel, constructed in 1856 as part of the Marietta and Cincinnati Railroad, was built to transport coal through southeastern Ohio's rugged terrain. The tunnel is located near the former town it was named after, which has long since vanished, leaving behind a nearly ghostly landscape of overgrown paths, remnants of homes, and a cemetery. Locals and visitors claim to see a glowing lantern or flickering orb inside the tunnel, sometimes described as the ghost of a brakeman crushed by a train in 1859, whose tragic death was reported in contemporary newspapers. Many other ghost stories have persisted for over a century, fueled by the tunnel's dark history, where at least 27 fatal accidents occurred. The dangers stemmed from the tunnel's narrow single track, high-speed trains, and treacherous trestles only yards away from its entrances. Cuyahoga Valley National Park stretches between Cleveland and Akron, preserving over 33,000 acres of forests, wetlands and waterfalls along the winding Cuyahoga River. The park contains remnants of early industrial growth, but is now a mostly natural refuge, preserving the landscape once threatened by urban sprawl and pollution. Once trapped out of the region by the early 19th century, beavers returned to the park in the 1930s and steadily repopulated the area, transforming the landscape. They are well adapted to aquatic environments, with webbed hind feet, waterproof fur, and large flat tails used for balancing and signalling. Families cooperatively maintain dams and lodges year-round that create deep pools, allowing them to enter and exit underwater to avoid predators and access food safely. With a diet of mainly bark and twigs, they tend to store branches underwater as winter food caches. Foraging activity peaks during twilight and nighttime to avoid predators such as coyotes, foxes, and bobcats common in the park. The dams also benefit other species by slowing water flow, improving water quality, and creating habitats for fish, birds, plants, and common amphibians like the green frogs. Adapted for both aquatic and terrestrial environments, the green frog is named after its distinctive green to olive coloration, with dark spots and ridged skin that helps it blend near vegetation. It relies on a sit-and-wait hunting strategy, remaining relatively motionless until insects, small fish, or other prey come within striking distance. Their readiness to inhabit a range of watery environments, from small ponds to riversides, demonstrates high adaptability. In fact, they are one of the hardiest frog species, evident from their long-lasting tadpole stage that allows them to inhabit water bodies with varying seasonal conditions. Mating season happens from spring through summer, with males calling via a loose, banjo string-like note to attract females. Females choose mates partly based on territory quality and lay clusters of 1,000 to 5,000 eggs on or near vegetation in calm water. Named after Robert H. Jeffrey, who was Columbus's youngest mayor at 29, Jeffrey Mansion hosted city leaders on the mansion's back terrace, where the name Bexley was chosen for the surrounding community. In 1941, Jeffrey donated the estate to the city of Bexley to be used as a community centre, and it now hosts recreational programmes, events and a play school on its historic grounds. Today, local lore surrounds the mansion with ghost stories, including reports of cheerful yet unexplained whistling in a second-floor hallway and rumoured visits from the spirit of Robert Jeffrey. Large geometric shapes cover several acres along the tributaries of the Ohio River and showcase remarkable precision. This is Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks, a World Heritage Site preserving 8 monumental earthworks constructed by the Hopewell culture. The exact purpose of many earthworks remains unclear, with no written or oral records surviving from their creators. Archaeologists believe the earthworks served as gathering places for ceremonies connected to celestial observations, often involving rituals around the movements of the sun and moon. Part of the complex is the Newark Earthworks, constructed approximately 2,000 years ago along the banks of the Licking River. Encompassing over 3,000 acres, it is considered one of the largest and most complex prehistoric earthwork systems in North America. Legends reference a powerful force stored within the mounds, potentially a spiritual guardian or cosmic energy source. Meanwhile, ancient geoglyph experts point to evidence of complex numerical and geometric systems encoded in the earthworks, suggesting advanced knowledge of math and cosmology was embedded in the design. Indian Lake is a large reservoir in western Ohio known for its expansive islands, recreational boating, fishing tournaments, and storied past as the Midwest's million-dollar playground. Starting as a group of small lakes covering 640 acres, it was transformed into the Lewistown Reservoir in the 1850s to store water for the Miami and Erie Canal. After railroads overtook canal transport, the reservoir was renamed Indian Lake and designated a public recreation area in 1898. Expert wetland hunters thrive at Indian Lake, such as the great blue heron, which can feed during both day and night. Their slow, deliberate stalking and rapid bill thrust help them catch prey before it notices. In colder months, most migrate to warmer areas with unfrozen water, though the occasional individual may overwinter in the state if ice-free water is available. They may even forage on land for rodents or in fields for insects during low water periods. These birds are colony nesters, with up to 75 pairs sharing a rookery in isolated trees or islands. Males select nesting sites and attract mates through displays, then bring sticks and branches for building conspicuous platform nests in trees 20 to 60 feet above ground. Fellow wetland hunters, the Canada geese stand out the most when they migrate in noisy V-shaped formations day and night. Some are year-round residents, while others travel thousands of miles to northern breeding grounds and winter in milder climates. Geese graze on grasses, seeds, and aquatic vegetation in open areas, moving to fields for leftover grains in fall and winter. Their flexible diet supports their spread into urban parks, golf courses, and lakeside communities. Goslings and adults forage together by day, using strong bills to clip vegetation or dig for tubers. Males lead, with females and goslings trailing in single file as they move between habitats. Findlay Ghost Town is a replica 1880s western town created in 1961 that spreads across 13 acres, featuring 28 buildings, all designed to evoke the spirit of Old West settlements. The creator, Ed Galitza, built the initial log cabin for $50 with help from his father, slowly collecting historical structures from across Hancock County. Its infamous Boot Hill Cemetery also boasts real grave markers donated by local farmers who discovered them while ploughing fields, though no actual burials exist beneath the stones. Some of the relocated buildings are rumoured to bring their old ghosts with them, as staff and guests report unexplained chills and rattling noises when the site is quiet, while haunted house activities during Halloween add to its spectral reputation. Holmes County, Ohio, is home to the largest Amish population in the world, with about 42% of its residents belonging to the Amish community as of 2020. The county's rolling farmland and winding dirt roads are characteristic landscapes shaped by horse-drawn buggies, barns and farmland fences, reflecting a way of life largely unchanged for centuries. The Amish here are part of various old order affiliations, maintaining traditional ways of life centred on farming, craftsmanship, and strong community bonds. They descend mainly from Swiss and German Anabaptists who settled the region in the early 1800s, seeking religious freedom and fertile land. They follow the Ordnung, a set of guidelines that governs everything from dress and technology use to social customs, evidently living without modern electricity or motor vehicles. Education traditionally ends at 8th grade, with children learning trades and farming skills through apprenticeships. The Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield opened in 1896 as a facility designed to reform young first-time male offenders by combining religion, education, and trade skills. Rumoured to be haunted, inmates reported sightings of a mysterious woman who tucked them into bed at night, believed to be the spirit of a nurse murdered there. The graveyard on site also contains hundreds of unclaimed inmate graves etched only with prisoner numbers, believed to cause restless spirits wandering at night. The Reformatory operated until 1990, when a court order closed it due to inhumane conditions and overcrowding, having housed over 155,000 men during its lifetime. Vinton Furnace State Forest, covering over 12,000 acres in southeastern Ohio, began as a company town built around the Vinton Iron Furnace, an ironworks that operated from 1854 until 1883. Today it is a research and public area managed by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and the US Forest Service, dedicated to ecology and sustainable forestry. The remnants of the furnace can be found as foundational structures, including flues, ovens and chimneys, remain visible amid forestry growth. Named for the charcoal-fired blast furnace at its core, the site was later converted to coke fuel using a unique set of 24 Belgian coke ovens, which is one of the few remaining examples of such industrial technology in the world. Locals tell of ghost stories surrounding Hope Furnace nearby, where a night watchman was fatally struck by lightning and fell into molten iron. His spirit is said to carry a lantern as it roams the furnace ruins, appearing particularly on stormy nights. Interestingly, the site contains Ohio's largest known population of bobcats, as they prefer the remoteness of the forests in the region. In fact, these large cats typically avoid heavily developed or agricultural areas, but move along riparian corridors, showing capacity to navigate fragmented landscapes. They possess powerful legs that enable short bursts of speed and leaping ability, crucial for catching rabbits, rodents, birds and deer within the forest's varied habitat. Natural predators are few due to their position as apex mesopredators, but young bobcats face threats from coyotes, large raptors, and humans. Road mortality from vehicle collisions is a significant modern threat, especially where roads fragment habitat. Meanwhile, the prey of the bobcats, the raccoons, are known for often showing up near suburban, developed areas despite being naturally from forests and wetlands. These mammals would den in tree cavities, abandoned burrows, chimneys, attics and other sheltered places, showing great flexibility in nesting choices as well. They have dexterous front paws that help them forage, manipulate food, and even open containers, allowing them to scavenge effectively in urban and natural settings. Primarily nocturnal, raccoons use their keen senses of touch, hearing, and smell to hunt and scavenge in the dark. They are highly opportunistic omnivores, feeding on fruits, nuts, insects, small animals, eggs, human garbage, and pet food. Often called masked bandits, they notably have the unique behaviour of washing food before eating, which highlights tactile sensitivity, though this conclusion is still debated. The historic town of Oberlin, famous for Oberlin College and its active role in the Underground Railroad, carries stories of those who risked their lives in the fight against slavery. From its inception, Oberlin College was coeducational and among the first to admit black students on equal terms with whites, becoming a critical stop on the Underground Railroad that offered refuge to fleeing slaves. It drew abolitionists and progressive thinkers through the mid-19th century, earning a reputation as a major centre for anti-slavery activism. The college's early leaders, like Charles Grandison Finney, social reformers and students alike, cultivated an environment of activism and social justice. Mill Creek Park is Ohio's oldest metropolitan park, covering 2,658 acres and stretching from the near west side of Youngstown through Boardman Township. The Witch's Cave near the Silver Bridge is said to be haunted by witch spirits, prompted by the discovery of small bones thought to be a child's. In the forests surrounding such eerie sites is the pileated woodpecker, creating distinctive rectangular holes in trees. This also helps create nesting cavities used by various other species such as owls, ducks and bats. The largest woodpecker in the region, its strong, sustained drumming is a primary communication method that also differs from other woodpecker species. Its strong, chisel-like bill and long barbed tongue allow it to excavate deep into wood to reach insect prey hidden beneath bark and in crevices. Additionally, its stiff tail feathers help it balance on vertical surfaces, and specialised feathers protect its eyes from sawdust. A major bird of prey that may hunt these woodpeckers is the red-shouldered hawk, often heard before seen due to its loud, repeated call. In fact, it regularly defends territories with vocalizations and soaring flights year-round. It is highly skilled at both perched hunting and aerial hunts, feeding on a diverse diet, including mammals, birds, amphibians, reptiles, and crustaceans. Their nests are usually situated high in the forest canopy, often returning to the same sites annually and improving nest structures collaboratively. Whitewater Shaker Village, located near New Haven, Ohio, was founded by members of the United Society of Believers in Christ's second appearing, known as Shakers. It was the fourth and last Shaker community established in Ohio, beginning with 18 members in 1825 on just 40 acres of land. The village exemplified communal living based on celibacy, equality, and pacifism, relying on converts and adoption for growth. The major city of Cincinnati grew into a major trade hub, known as the Queen City, and became one of the largest pork processing centres, earning the nickname Porkopolis in the 19th century. It launched several American firsts, such as the first professional baseball team, the Cincinnati Red Stockings, in 1869, the first municipal fire department, and the first city with a licensed public television station, WCET-TV, in 1954. The city is also famous for its unique Cincinnati chili, created by Greek immigrants, a spiced meat sauce served over spaghetti with unconventional seasonings like cinnamon and cloves. It has been home to notable figures such as inventor Charles Martin Hall, founder of the aluminum industry, and entertainers like George Clooney and Neil Armstrong. The city blends Midwestern values with a strong German immigrant influence, evident in its Oktoberfest Cincinnati festival, one of the largest outside Munich. Spanning the Ohio River between Cincinnati and Covington is the John A. Roebling Suspension Bridge. Designed by German-born engineer John A. Roebling, the bridge was a pioneering example of wire cable suspension bridge construction, employing new techniques that set standards for future projects. Construction began in 1856 but faced setbacks, including the Civil War, floods, and financial troubles. Despite challenges, the bridge was completed using massive limestone anchorages and iron cables imported from England. It served as a prototype for the Brooklyn Bridge, the world's first steel wire suspension bridge. It was also the first bridge across the Ohio River and remains a vital pedestrian and vehicular conduit. The Ohio River itself forms the southern border of Ohio, running about 981 miles from the confluence of the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers at Pittsburgh to where it meets the Mississippi River in Illinois. It was a significant transport route connecting numerous settlements, trade networks, and Native American cultures. It served as a barrier and border between free and slave states during the 19th century and was a critical pathway for those escaping slavery, with support from the Underground Railroad. Stories include sightings of an octoman, a strange creature reported in late 1950s with multiple limbs seen in the water, sparking panic and wonder. Others speak of ancient petroglyphs along its banks and possible links to legends of lizard men or amphibious humanoids thought to inhabit the darker reaches of the river valley. Today, the river supports significant commercial traffic, with more than 270 million tonnes of coal, chemicals and goods moving along it annually via barge and ship, making it a crucial inland waterway in economic terms. Founded in 1796, the city of Dayton is recognised as the birthplace of aviation, largely due to the work of the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. The Wright brothers developed, tested, and flew the world's first successful powered airplane in nearby Kitty Hawk. They also later built factories, flight schools, and exhibition teams in Dayton, solidifying their legacy in aviation history. Hence, it also hosts the National Museum of the US Air Force, the oldest and largest military aviation museum in the world. Visitors can explore presidential aircraft, including Air Force One planes, a B-2 stealth bomber, and the famous Memphis Belle bomber from World War II. This is Ohio, a state of hidden wonders and remarkable architectural marvels. Now, if you don't want to miss the most unreal wonders of the Atlantic forest, check out this video.